Hi love, hello and welcome to Co-Creative Healing Journey. My name is Greta, I'm a healer, and I create spiritual content here to help you in your journey of spiritual growth and evolution. And this here is a reading, which is done in a specific way. It's a multidimensional reading, meaning that we're looking at an issue in your life and you can ask to have the guidance that you need within that issue. So you think of an issue and then you tune into one of these rocks, and that is going to give you the energy of the situation, the issue that you are thinking about. Then you're going to choose one of these angels, and that's going to tell you about your personal energy in the situation or circumstance. And then finally, you choose one of these crystals, and then Spirit is going to bring you the advice that you want, that you need, that you deserve in the situation. So love, that's how you go about it. All of the timestamps are in the description box, and I'll see you in your reading in just a little bit. Hello, those of you who chose the stone. This is my peace stone. So in some way, shape, or form, this reading has to do with bringing peace, a lot of peace and a lot of well-being into your life. So let's look at this. We've got Safe to be Seen, Archangel Gabriel and Turquoise. We have Crystal Ascension. I am attuned to the universal wisdom and energy of the Crystal Kingdom. We have got the Nine of Swords, the Six of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands. So let's see. What I'm getting in this energy with this number 11, master number 11, is about the mastery of energy. So there's something in this situation that is calling you into spiritual growth and evolution. And this is highlighted, or this is rather corroborated. We're talking about evidence, is corroborated by this card. So that's an aspect of it. There's something about evidence. Okay. This is a very numinous energy in this situation. I feel there's a lot of confusion, and there's a lot with the Nine of Swords. There's a lot of unrest, and it's like a situation that clearly is bringing you anxiety, and that's why there's the need for peace. And Spirit is saying you can have peace. You just have to understand with the Six of Pentacles that the situation is not complete. It's a situation in which something has to come back to you. And when something comes back to you, the situation itself will make sense in a different way. So it would be, for example, if you invested all of your savings into something, and then you could be anxious about it. Oh my God, I did something stupid. And then the money comes back to you and you've made a killing, as the expression goes. And then all of a sudden it's not something that doesn't make sense. It makes sense in a completely different light, right? What seemed a bad idea one second seems a really good idea the next second because of the return on investment. To give you another example, I remember I had a friend who told me that he got really drunk and he climbed a tree and everyone around him was freaking out. And he was telling me the story, and he said that was the stupidest thing to do, but I had such a beautiful experience and transcendent experience while I was going through it. It was such a stupid thing to do. And I said, well, did you fall? And he said, no. And then I said, well, maybe it wasn't that stupid. And what I was tapping into is that my friend is very wise. So he knew his boundaries and he knows his limitation, alcohol or not. What everybody else saw was the alcohol and him climbing the tree, but he knows himself and he knows his boundaries. He knows what he can or cannot do, what he can or cannot achieve, logically at a level of a conscious mind, but also deep within, as his soul, as his spirit. He knows that. And so that's what I feel like this situation is with Crystal Ascension, and even Safe to be Seen, which we'll talk about in a bit. But Crystal Ascension is talking about your energy. There's something about your energy that is more subtle, more high vibrational than the average level of energy on the planet. That's what's coming through. You have a very high vibration, and that vibration wants to rise. So in this situation, there is the space for your spiritual being, your spiritual energy to grow, to expand, to evolve, to become something more of itself. And that's what it wants. And that's why you're in this situation. Now, logically, this doesn't compute. You can't understand it. You can't make sense of it. And that's why Spirit is saying there's something that has to come back. And that something that comes back to you is going to help you to make sense of it and to understand it. And that something is, with the pentacle, something tangible in the physical world. This is some form of resource that comes back to you. More time, more energy in the sense of vitality, more money, new connections, new relationships, something that comes back to you, a new contract, something that comes back to you in a tangible, realized, real life earthy form that is going to really, really make sense of it, and you're going to see a part of yourself that you haven't seen before. And master number 11, again, master of your energy, also connection to your higher self-awareness, ascension energy. And that part of you is waiting for you to be seen, and you need to see that part of yourself. You need to know and understand that part of yourself, because more will follow. Also with the 8 of Wands, something will come of this. When this comes back to you and you gain this awareness and understanding, and you can see that within you there was a wisdom, there was a knowing, there was a truth that was sparking you into action, into making a certain choice, heading down a certain path. When you see that part of yourself, then you're going to be equipped for the next part of the journey, which is going to help you to develop it even further, to go even higher, and to become even more aware of your true being, of who you really are. And that's what the situation is for. It's kind of designed to be that way. Now, obviously, I am not encouraging you to do anything reckless. It's not about the action. It's about the consciousness from which you're making that action. And that's what Spirit wants you to learn and to understand. And it's never about the surface stuff. It's always about the deeper underlying reasons, the why, the soul reasons, the spiritual fulfillment that we seek to realize in life. And that's a lesson that is here for you in this situation. So love, that was your reading. I invite you now to move on to the part about your personal energy and the advice that Spirit has for you, so you can learn more. Of course, that's how we're rolling here. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit. Bye. Hi love, hello and welcome to those of you who have chosen this stone. This is my joy stone. So this is a situation in which there is lots of potential for you to harvest a lot of joy. You may or may not be aware of it, but it definitely is there, and Spirit is wanting to kind of illuminate that for you, to peel back the layer so you can become more aware of it. We have here Grace for the Grand Gesture, Archangel Raphael, and Malachite. And Malachite to me is a birthstone. We have I am guided by the cycles of life and live in complete harmony with them. We have Major Arcana number 16, the Tower. We have the Knight of Wands, and we have Major Arcana number 8, Strength. And together they tell a really, really beautiful story. What you have here in this situation is, again, a potential to arrive at a tremendous amount of joy, a tremendous amount of well-being, to come out on top, as the expression says. But in order to do that, it requires you to make a grand gesture. And within the logic of this card, the grand gesture is a form of a leap of faith, is saying yes to the universe. So there is an opportunity in the situation, or the situation itself is an opportunity, but there is an opportunity for you to attain to something really, really great. With, again, Malachite and this energy of birthing, you have the ability, the potential to birth something really, truly amazing with all this green energy, something that is going to nurture your heart, something that is going to feel like you're going to the next level, like you're being uplifted, upgraded in some way, shape, or form, like your reality is being upgraded. And so, yes, your reality, not you. Ah, there we have it. Okay. And so that's the question, right? Why would it not be something straightforward for you? Well, you don't feel like you're up to it. With the Wheel of Life, the situation in some way, shape, or form represents a departure for you. It's like you feel like you're light and this situation is day, or you feel like you're day and the situation is light. It is requiring you to shift in some significant kind of way. Literally, it could be like a job that requires you to work the night shift and you've always worked the day shift, and then you would have to change the whole rhythm of your life. It's that kind of thing. This situation is requiring of you to make a big adaptation, adjustment in how you go about things, how you lead your life, and you're just not sure of it. With the Tower, there is this clarity. I feel like this is the first card, so it shows kind of what is obvious in the situation, that this could be a big departure, a big change, is going to be a big transformation. And when you have the Tower, you have these two people. One of them is falling in the way where the person is leaning on it. They're bracing themselves for the fall. They're leaning into it. And the other one is falling on their back head first, which is the most dangerous way. And this person is not at all prepared for it. And so there's one way in which the person makes the most of the situation and can get out on top. And the other one just is suffering it, is engaging with it in a passive kind of way, and therefore risks harm. And that's what you're seeing on the surface. Like, this can go really, really wrong. This can go either one of two ways. It can go really, really wrong. And what's coming through mostly is the awareness of the risk. And Spirit is saying, yes, on the surface, there is risk. But Knight of Wands, you really want this. You really, really want this. In fact, you've been in passionate pursuit for something, and this is the answer. So this is an energy that's a little bit more hidden, so you may be less aware of it, but the Spirit is telling you what you've been pursuing in your life, what you've been pursuing in this area, what you've been pursuing in actually, in a way, it doesn't even have to be very adjacent to this situation. Like, it doesn't have to be an obvious answer, but basically what you've been pursuing passionately, you know yourself, you know what your passionate drive is, you know what your passionate goal in life is. With this wand here that the knight is holding, whatever you've been moving towards, this situation is the answer. It's just not that obvious. You're just seeing the risk. You're not seeing how it is what you've been wanting, and basically the universe is going, here you go, you can have it. It just requires a grand gesture. And with that, finally, we have the Strength card. And the Strength card is talking about how you can have access to all of this, but it does require you to essentially discipline yourself, and especially discipline your animalistic part. So the part of you that is very aware of risk, that could be risk averse. So because you're focusing on your comfort zone, or you're focusing on, it's coming through very much as those basic needs, those basic preferences. Also, it's going to play out a little differently for each person watching, but there's just this energy of feeling like, I'm feeling very much at home where I am. I don't really want to risk this because I don't know where it's going to take me, but all my reasons are really basic. It's like, well, I'll have to sleep less, or I'll have to eat less, or I won't have a roof over my head. And I know it's important to have a roof over your head, but it's still, in the grand scheme of things and the grand scheme of the being that you are, it is a basic need. What Spirit is highlighting here is your spiritual being. You also have a spirit, you have a soul, and those parts of you are going to be incredibly fulfilled within this situation as it plans out, as it evolves into the right thing. And so Spirit is acknowledging that it is a grand gesture for you to do, and it is a lot to discipline yourself. But in this situation, if you do that, that's the message. If you can discipline yourself in this situation, yes, it's going to be transformative. Yes, it's going to be huge, but it also ultimately will be so beneficial for you, and you will be able to give birth to a situation, a circumstance that is so much more in alignment with your true being and what you really want to experience in this life. And both of these talk about it. And both of these are fire energy. This is Aries energy. This is Leo energy. So fire energy within astrology. This is go for it energy. This is a situation that is requiring of you to get passionate, to get lit up, and to go for it. And then the benefits will present themselves. So that was the reading with the situation, and I now invite you to move on to the reading about your personal energy, and of course after that about the advice that Spirit has for you. So hello, hi, those of you who chose this stone, which is my new earth stone. I'm just realizing. I've been laying out your cards, getting the energy of this reading, going, wow. And then it's a new earth stone. That makes sense. Okay, so love. The energy in the situation is one of basically, entry into a next level, a higher level of reality. With Spirit Awakens, I embrace my soul purpose and align all aspects of my life to it fully. Then this is about a new energy that is coming into your life. You're going to be experiencing some form of spiritual awakening. You already could be experiencing it, but this situation is intended to fully activate you and to spark some spiritual awakening within you. And as a part of that spiritual awakening, with goodwill here, you're going to develop some form of passion, some form of drive, or you're going to deepen your passion or your drive towards some form of endeavor here in the world that is intended to make the world a better place, essentially, right? And that can be anything. There are so many different levels. But what it is going to be linked to your spiritual energy, to who you are as a spiritual being. So essentially, your love and your way of loving is going to come to the forefront, and is going to inspire you. It's going to bring through ideals, things that are of spiritual energy, and it is going to have you look at the world with this Three of Wands in a completely different way, with a completely different outlook. It's going to be the same things that you're looking at, but you're going to be looking at it from a different place within, and it is going to spark some form of creativity, also of spiritual energy. Spiritual energy, love energy, per definition, is creative energy, and that's what's going to happen within you, some form of creative, alchemical reaction is going to happen, and you're going to feel drawn to create something. And so we have your major arcana number 14, we have your major arcana number 6. This is Temperance, that's the Lovers, and this Temperance card is about alchemy. So this is soul level energy with the major arcana. So there's something that your soul wants to transform in the world. There's some form of dynamic, of circumstance, an energy. It can even be something that your soul at a deep level wants to work on, and I would even say is here to work on, is alive to work on. It's your life purpose. And so you're awakening spiritual energy, you're birthing the spiritual energy that you need to basically fuel into this process and then create something. Now, well, normally when I start the reading, I present all the cards, and I was very aware of the fact that I hadn't, and I just started talking, and then I was doing it again, and it came through as the kind of process that you're going to be in. It's a process where you're going to be a little bit out of step. It's a little bit, how do I explain this? It's emergent, so it becomes as you go along. The answers come as you go along. So we didn't talk about this card yet because we're not there yet, but it's there, but it's not part of the reading. It's those kinds of things. It's like when you, as you're shifting and you're awakening, you're going to see all of these elements that are there, but how you're going to take it all together and how you're going to make it work in this situation and circumstance, you don't really know, and you're not supposed to know. You're supposed to go along, and you're supposed to experience it as it all comes together. You're supposed to basically give this spiritual energy the free reins and allow it to lead you and your process forward. Two things you're going to note, two things are definite in the situation. One of them is the goodwill. There's this love, there's this profound love and passion and drive that is really going to awaken within you. And so this situation is intended for you to feel that and to really allow it to rise up to the surface, but also to give it free reign, to allow it to become a part of you, essentially, because it is at the deepest level. And the second level is this Lover's card, which is representing an existential choice. The Lover's card is about choosing what we love, and traditionally it's a card that has to do with choosing what the world tells us is right, or choosing what we as individuals, and especially as a soul, find is right for us. So when you choose to go by the soul, when you choose to follow this passion, this drive, this calling, there you go, a calling, it's a calling. When you choose to follow this calling from within, you're going to be making an existential choice about who you are and how you want to lead your life from then on out. It's a big deal, and it has the power to completely change and shift the trajectory of your life. And this situation is intended to be a portal, a doorway to all of these energies and dynamics. So it may not be the only situation in your life. It likely won't be with a spiritual awakening, especially of the size. A lot of different areas will be touched, but this situation is the core one, and Spirit wants you to know that. This is the one where you put in most of your focus, you put in most of your energy, and then it is going to help you also to make sense of the rest and to align everything else. So love, that's what Spirit wants to tell you about this situation for here and now. And I now invite you to hear some more by looking at your personal energy in the situation, and of course the advice that Spirit has for you. So I'll be seeing you there in a little bit. So hello, those of you who chose the angel with a heart. This message is going to have to do very much with your heart, and absolutely with following your heart, and we will get to that. We've got keep your dreams alive. We have first light, beginning a new cycle. We have a 9 of Pentacles, a King of Cups, and a 2 of Swords. So let's start with the keep your dreams alive, because I feel like you are this person. You have a dream. There's something about you. You're very visionary. You have, a vision, a dream, something that you're chasing, something that you're pursuing. It's more than a goal. It's more than a plan. There really is an ideal. There's something very profound and, again, heart-centered at the core of what it is that you want to achieve. but this is a dream that you've had for a long time, and you've been in this cycle of trying to make it happen. You see here with all of these spirals, you've been here trying to make it happen, and then it doesn't work, and then you try again and it doesn't work, and so on and so forth. But you have the clarity that this is what you need to do, this is what is true for you, this is what you're pursuing. And so it's kept you going for this time, for a while, however long it's been in this situation. But you know, and that's the thing, you have a vision of how you want this situation to unfold, and you've been trying to make it happen, but it just hasn't really taken root. But with First Light, Spirit is telling you that there is an ending and a beginning in this situation. Now, this doesn't necessarily come up in the situation. It's coming up in your personal energy, meaning that it's something for you to cause. This card, First Light, talks about ending a cycle and beginning another one, and being in the space of transition. And so Spirit really wants you to be aware that within your energy, you have the ability, you have the capacity to end that old cycle and then to begin a new one. And it has to do with you becoming aware of that power. I feel like in a situation, you may be thinking that it's something greater than you, something outside of you that is going to make or break the situation, that is going to make it happen or not, make it successful or not. And it really is not the case. Nine of Pentacles is a card of, for example, being an entrepreneur, having your own business. So it has that card of initiative and creating your own riches, your own wealth in this world. I'm tapping into this notion, you know, when in Christianity, when there's this notion of the afterlife, to be happy in the next life. And there's a Bob Marley song, Get Up, Stand Up. Yeah, get up, stand up. That's the energy, definitely. Where there's a line that says, if you know what life is really worth, you will look for yours on earth. And that's the energy that you need to come into. You may already be in this energy. The Spirit is talking about you actualizing it with the Nine of Pentacles, really making it real in how you go about things, how you approach things, what you do. It's more than just an ideal. It needs to become your way of life. It needs to be you seeking your own fulfillment. But it's more than seeking it. You have to realize it. Now, obviously, you're going to get advice on that, but it's part of your personal energy that you're the kind of person who needs that. You're the kind of person, maybe you need to be self-employed. Maybe you need to be an entrepreneur. But in some way, shape, or form, you're someone who needs to step out of the old cycle where whether or not your dreams came true was up to someone else, up to something else, up to the global situation, up to, you know, the cosmic energy. It needs to be something that you take control of and that you have in your hands. And with this King of Cups, Spirit is saying you're more than capable of this, because King of Cups is mature energy. And it's an energy that is immune to a lot of distortions. So you're going to be immune to greed. You're going to be immune to fear. You're going to be immune to, what else is there that motivates people? Traditionally speaking, you're going to be immune to lower motivations. That's the point. You're going to have them come in and you're going to let them flow out, but you're not going to take it in. You're not going to drink it in. You're not going to allow it to sustain you. And you're very, very wise about that. And so because you are that wise, you can count on yourself to make the choices that you need to make in the situation and circumstance. You don't need to leave it up to anyone else. And that's what the Two of Swords talks about. What everybody else says, you can leave it to them. You just have to sit this one out. You really have to kind of, that your personal energy is in a space where clarity will come from you sitting back and allowing your old thoughts to kind of duke it out and then just end. Because the Two of Swords can also be a card of dilemma. And it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of energy. Rock or hard place. But that's part of the old energy, and that's what Spirit wants to say. You bring the third option, the third solution. When you go into your own energy and your own awareness of how you can do things or what you can bring into the situation, you're going to break it wide open and you're going to start a new cycle. Basically, the situation is waiting for your energy to be in a place where you are much more in charge and taking charge of it in a very yin kind of way, right? With trust, with surrender. It's not about you charging ahead. It's not fire energy. It's water energy. So there's the ability to receive and to flow and to be open and receptive. Absolutely. But still with power, still with mastery. and still with, again, a form of immunity to outside energy, other people's thoughts, conventional understandings, and so on and so forth, but to really go about it so that you're finding a path that brings the wealth, the well-being that you want, that you need, that you deserve. So when you come into that space, cycle shifts, and all of the new can come in, including the realization of your dreams. So love, that was your reading. That's what Spirit wants to share with you about your personal energy. And of course, I invite you to check out your advice. It should tie it all together. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a little bit. Hi love, hello to those of you who chose this big angel. I think I call it big angel, yeah? It's so basic, but that's the point, and that's part of this energy. You are a big angel. This is a reading that really talks about you not knowing how big you are, and it could be something that you are having a hard time labeling it or making sense of it, or being able to kind of compare to other things. How can I be this big, or how does it make sense that I am this big? Well, you are, and we're going to talk about it. We've got the big picture, fog in, go slow, take time. We have got Major Arcana number 15, the Devil. We've got Knight of Pentacles, and we've got Major Arcana number 14, Temperance. So the message here is very straightforward. In this situation, you are going slow and you're taking your time, and you're approaching things in a very in a way where you are wanting to flow with things, wait and see. It's going to be different for everybody, but at the core of it, there's going to be some form of holding back and waiting to see how things are going to unfold, giving it time, and therefore not forging ahead with what you have here and now in the situation. Now, this is something that you're doing from a perception that you're being wise, or you're being patient, or you're being something positive, right? Something, you're being loving, you're being trusting, you're being kind, you're being generous. Whatever it is, you have a perception that you're doing this for very good and very beautiful and very lofty reasons. And now Spirit is saying that there's a distinction between who you are, that you can be loving, you can be kind, you can be generous, and then how you do things. Just because you are a loving, kind, generous being, it doesn't mean that everything that you do de facto is. It is when you're aligned. But with the Devil is talking about a misalignment here, that in fact you are proceeding in a way where you are being disempowered. So you are choosing not to act because you are disempowering yourself from acting because you don't feel up to the situation or the circumstance. So that you think that you're being wise, but you're actually acting in disempowerment. And this is the After Tarot. So if you see this, this is people who have completely given in to the energy of the Devil. They really let themselves go. And they, in the traditional one, they're still standing up. They're still kind of, am I chained to this? Am I not? This is you having really given in to that energy and to that perspective. And so Spirit wants you to know that there is something else that you can do. You see here, there's a spirit. The bird is flying away. The water is flowing. There's an energy of letting that perspective go. There's a difference. Temperance is a card of flow. There's a difference between being in flow and going slowly. It's not the same thing. Actually, Spirit tells me this all the time. Also with this Knight of Pentacles energy, I get this energy, right? And then I go, oh, I need to slow down and I need to go step by step. And Spirit says, no, you need to be thorough. And that's what's coming through for you. That's why I'm mentioning it. What you need to do in this situation is to be thorough. It is to be detail-oriented, to go step by step, and to check everything. But that doesn't need to be slow. It's not the same thing as being slow. You can be very efficient. It's a card of being efficient, of being practical, of being down to earth, and therefore getting results through that. And the alchemy here is Temperance is talking about you being able to alchemize the process. With every single step, you're going to kind of change the situation that you're dealing with. And that's why you need to take it step by step. It's not about slowness. I hope that I'm making the point. Yeah, it's not about slowness, and it is about being thorough. It's about being aware and going through things step by step, where you're being aware of what you're doing it and why you're doing it. And that's what the big picture is talking about. there is a deeper underlying reason to why you wanted to be in the situation to begin with, and you have to remember it. You have to go back to it, because we started the reading here and we've gone, but we have to go back. There's a bigger picture at play here, and that bigger picture is central to why you wanted to do this. And if you can connect to that bigger picture, it's also going to help you to put the energy into being very, very detail oriented, very, very focused, and to keep moving, to take those steps and to keep moving. It's true that the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight in the deck, but it's also the knight that can achieve the most. So it might not be that you need to go slow. It might need to be that you need to be more effective so that you can create something bigger. And the big picture also is talking about that. And it's something that you can only do when you take your energy back from feeling disempowered. And I understand. I totally understand. And there's this very loving energy that's coming in, and Spirit saying that it's completely understandable that you had this perspective, because it's an extension of you. But just as you are powerful enough to be loving, to be patient, to be kind, to give space, and so on and so forth in this situation, you also have the energy to really kind of take charge and to be that detail oriented, to be that focused, to be that enduring, to keep going, and until you reach it, until you reach your goal. And that is going to be very, very, very healing for you at a higher level. You're going to learn what flow really is, and you're really going to allow yourself to expand, heal, and grow. This is really beautiful. So in other words, this situation is actually, how you're engaging with the situation is actually holding you down in some shadow aspects, some shadowy energy. And if you instead grapple with this situation, engage with it, and then be very, very thorough and very, very dedicated, you are going to transmute the situation, set it free to become what it needs to be, and you are going to heal so much of yourself. And that is the message that is here for you. And to some extent, it could be the bigger picture in and of itself, right? You could have set out to do this, to become something, to change something about yourself, how you go about things, how you show up in the world, to maybe love yourself more, whatever reason it is. There is also some element in the big picture of your relationship to you, and ultimately that is the biggest picture there is, right? So that was your reading. I now invite you to check out the advice portion and look at what good tips Spirit has for you. Thanks for watching. So hello to those of you who chose the mini angel. We have here a reading about your personal energy in the situation, and how fitting actually it is, the mini angel, because there's a sense of you feeling smaller than you are, not necessarily up to the task. And yet with Valiant Courage here, you know that this is a situation that is going to require you to take valiant action, to take action with passion, to really move forward. It's talking about assertiveness. There is a need for you in the situation to assert yourself. And this is something that you know. So that's why it's part of your personal energy. You know that you need to shape up, step up, live up to what is before you in one way, shape, or form. You need to bring this energy, but even just the way I'm talking about it, step up, shape up, it's not quite there. And Spirit wants you to know that's because you're on pause. You are in a stage here. When you see it, look at this pause card. You have a little being here who's growing. They're evolving, and they're taking a break, and they're kind of in the moonlight, waiting for the next day, and something is going to start, something's going to begin. But just before that, there's a pause, and you are in this stage right now where you're not feeling fully assertive. You don't feel like you can go for it 100%, and that's normal. That's the way it's supposed to be, because you're growing and you're evolving, and you are preparing for the task ahead. And this is so important, because this is something we don't really find a lot of in modern life. There's very little preparation for things, but traditionally we would have rites of passages. We would go on things like vision quests. There would be these rituals that would allow us to transition or to be initiated into the next levels of life. And I feel like that's what you're experiencing right now. You're experiencing an initiation. And so there is a pause in your awareness of what to do within the situation, where you're going to go. But Spirit wants you to know it's very, very normal. And when you go through this initiation, when you're done, you're going to come out an emperor. So you're not going to come out a king. You're going to come out an emperor. which is the unification of all the four kings in the tarot. This is major arcana number 4. This is 8 of cups, by the way. This is 2 of wands. So you're going to come out in this space where you feel very, very empowered, very clear that this is a situation that you have control over, that you are supposed to resolve, and you're going to feel like you have the ability to resolve that. You're going to feel like you have all the tools at your disposal, and especially with the Emperor, it's bringing through this energy that you embody the solution, that what you need to do and how you need to go about it is a part of you. It's an extension of you. So it's going to be very much about doing what you think is right, going about it in your way out. This is Aries energy for sure. I do what I want because it's what I want. That's Aries energy. Leo would say maybe I do what I want because my heart tells me to. Sagittarius would say I do what I want because it is the right thing to do, like the morally right thing to do. And Aries says I do it because I want to, period. End of the sentence, end of the line, end of everything. And even it's that notion, you know, when you say no is a full sentence, that's the kind of energy you're going to come into. Yes, no, I want to do this, I don't want to do that, period. I don't even need to explain it to myself. I'm in alignment with who I am and my power and my right to use my power as I will, and I will. And then you go into taking action from that space. And this is talking, therefore, about a passion for your own individuality, for your own singularity, for your own energy, beliefs, choices. It's very, very self-centered, right? And I feel like that could be what you need to overcome to give yourself the right to center in your sense of self. There's a lot of words like self-centered that just to get this negative connotation, but it doesn't need to be. It's very healthy to start with ourselves and then to take action as you're doing. You're centering in yourself in this time, and you're going to come out with a lot of power. And you're going to use that power in 2 very significant ways that are just so amazingly, perfectly put out that I'm kind of mind blown right now. 8 of Cups is about moving on to find our happiness, to go look for that 9th cup. So this is you moving away from attachments, energies that have kept you stuck. You can leave it to them. I'll leave it to them. I'll leave it to the others. I'm going on my way. I'm moving forward. And then 2 of Wands is about doing the best we can with what we have. It's a card of I'll handle it. It's a card about our action power. It's a smaller kind of level of the Emperor about being empowered and taking action. And so it's also Aries energy, actually. That's true. And so they come together where you're going to use this energy, and that's why I was talking about it. You're going to say no to a lot of things in favor of being happy, in favor of finding your fulfillment. And then you're going to say yes and start taking on a lot of things and start acting for the same reasons. This is major arcana energy. So there's a deep soul level behind it. This is not gratuitous. Yes, no, this isn't even preference. This isn't at that level. There's a deep, deep energy that you're going to be connecting with, and that you are then going to empower yourself to live out in this world. And how cool is that? And of course, it is going to come to bear in the situation that you've been asking about. So love, that was the reading. That's what Spirit wants to share with you here and now. And I now invite you to go check out the advice that Spirit has for you. Hello, those of you who have chosen the Amazonite. Amazonite is bringing through this energy of, what would it be? Well, I'm realigning things, but it's this energy of, okay, it's integrity. Oh, yes, being real and true with yourself, and how that is going to help you realign things and bring through what it is that you want. So here in this situation, let's start. We've got the Eternal Dance movement, Wheel of Life, Path of Least Resistance. We have Heart Chakra. We have Major Arcana number 4, the Emperor. We have got the King of Pentacles, and we have the 8 of Pentacles. And by the way, in this deck, these cards have a very specific meaning, which I will come to. So this is Eternal Dance, and this is Spirit saying, look, in this situation, you can have exactly what you want. What you want is given to you, and it will happen on its own. You actually don't need to do much or anything at all. You certainly don't need to push or prod and try to force anything to happen. It is going to happen all on its own. What is ensuring that is this heart chakra energy, meaning that this is something that you love, this is something that you value, and the energy of your heart chakra is setting those intentions and those priorities which are going to help you to manifest this into being. So in this situation, it's not so much about the actions or what you can do, it's much more about your intentions and your priorities, working that, being very focused at that level, And from that place, it's going to organize your energy. It's going to organize everything so that you can continue, right? This is very common in like motivation fields and coaching and stuff, to be aware of your values and your intentions, especially so that they don't counteract you, they don't work against you in some kind of shadowy form or as a shadow aspect. And that's the advice the Spirit has for you. This situation is going to work out for you no matter what. The energy is going to flow naturally into the completion of what it is that you want. If you do want to help it to move it along, then work on your intentions, work on your priorities, your values, because that is what is going to be most aligned with this energy. If you try to go about it by doing work or making things happen, you're just kind of going to get it in your way. And this is reiterated because, as I said, in this deck, these cards have a very specific meaning. Eight of Pentacles is, in this deck, maturation, experiencing the result of events. Eight of Pentacles usually is a card of working hard, putting in effort. In this deck, it is about the opposite, the maturation, what comes as the result of events. And that's what you're being asked to realize. There are some things that need to happen. There are some things that need to come together for you to get what it is that you want. And that's why we're talking about movement and the wheel of life. There are some things that are beyond your control with the wheel of life that need to be happening and need to be in place for you to get what it is that you really want. And with the King of Pentacles, it's talking about how you're going to get that. Now, this King of Pentacles is merchant, and it talks about the ability to take one good and make more goods, to make things prosper through the use of wisdom. So basically, what Spirit is saying is that through this heart energy, and again, your intentions, your values, your priorities, working at that level, you're actually going to get more than what you're aiming for right now. If you were to put in your energy, and if you were to try to make it happen, you would make something happen, but it would be less than what you can get in the situation. And the energy in the situation is directing you towards getting the utmost, getting it all. Basically, you're gonna have it all, like in the Adele song. But yeah, that's true. The next line in that song, it's rumor has it, the next line is, but baby, is that really what you want? You can, yeah, she has it all, it has it all, but is that really what you want? And that's what you need to be clear with yourself about. Do you really want it all in the situation? Because that's where it's leading to, that's what's going to manifest. And it's about you preparing yourself in order to be in alignment with it. And now this Four of Wands in this deck is about, I think it's called stability. And it does talk about the actions that lead to creation and nourishment. And so in order to be in alignment with this, you need to have the ability to how do I put this? Well, to nourish it, really. But you see how this is a King of Pentacles? This is an Emperor. The Emperor trumps the King of Pentacles. So it's basically saying that you're going to create something, and you're aiming to create something, but you need to have the capacity to take care of it. You need to have the capacity to handle it. The basic example would be having a baby, for example. You become pregnant, or your partner becomes pregnant, and then it takes 9 months for the baby to be born. And those 9 months have preparational aspects to them. And that's what it's for, essentially, you know, from that lens that I'm applying here and now. But the point is that there's a process that you're in right now, and within the process there is the logic of preparing you for what you are going to be creating and receiving. It's bigger than what you think. You can't make it happen on your own, but that time is awesome because it's also intended to shape and mold you, to empower you with this Emperor energy, so that you're going to be fully able to handle it, to care for it, to make it prosper, to make it grow, to make it endure once you do get it. So if that was your advice, that was your advice. I hope that it served you. I hope that all of the readings served you. And I want to thank you for spending some time here with me on the channel. If you enjoyed these kind of readings, then please subscribe, because more will be coming. And I post in flow. So basically, if you subscribe, you're going to see the next one when it shows up. And I also have other videos on the channel where we talk about spirituality and hot topics these days. So lots of love to you, and I'll be seeing you around. Bye-bye. Hi love. So hello those of you who chose this agate, And this is an artificial stone, and that's actually why I love it. I just thought it was so trippy that we can make artificial stones like this. But the point of it showing up in this reading, it's talking about doing something that is artificial to you, something that wouldn't come naturally. That's what Spirit's advice is, and that's why you might have been having a hard time cluing into this solution or this approach. But that's the advice. You have to do something that is almost, it feels like counterintuitive, but it is going to work out for you, and it has to do with the situation. So first of all, Nine of Cups here, we have Hidden Path, the marriage of spirit and matter. We have a Two of Pentacles, Major Arcana number 20, Judgment, Major Arcana number 0, the Fool. So we have two Major Arcana energy, which is soul level energy. And then we've got this Hidden Matter, the marriage of spirit and matter, which also is the soul, actually. But or where the soul dwells, rather. But the point is that the soul is the one who creates that matter, that marriage of spirit and matter. And so the way forward in this situation is one that is not obvious to you. It is one, it's not hidden necessarily. It does say hidden path, but it's hidden in the sense that you wouldn't be able to see it or to understand it from your level of consciousness. It's for something that the soul can see. It's something that your higher self knows, and you're being guided and directed along that path. It is a path, you're being told, that is going to make your dreams come true. It is going to lead to an outcome that you're going to be completely satisfied with. But with the Nine of Cups coming in, for me, Nine of Cups is an energy of self-fulfillment. All the nines are at the level of the self, and then the tens are at the level of the world, society, so things that we can't bring about ourselves. So Ten of Cups would be something that includes a blessing from life, something that we can't make happen. But Nine of Cups, we're still in that realm. Yeah, you see the galaxy within these hands. There's still the possibility. There is the necessity actually at the level of the nine for us to make it happen ourselves. And so this is a dream that you're going to make happen by taking action. But Spirit is saying it's the right kind of action. And again, it's a counterintuitive action. It's one that is not currently in your field of vision. It's one that you wouldn't naturally turn toward, but that doesn't mean that it's not the right one, or it doesn't mean that it's going to pay off. So what is it? Well, basically with the Two of Pentacles here, and you see again, there are, two pentacles, but there's one that's in vision and that there's one that's hidden. So this is talking about you having a plan, having an approach in this situation to make your dreams come true, where, or in this situation, you have an approach that is visible to you, something that you see and that you know to do, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to do that, and it's going to bring something that I want. And maybe it is to bring your dreams come true, maybe not. For some of you, there's an element where you don't even realize that your dreams could come true in this situation, and so Spirit is telling you, I'm leading you to something that you would want even more. I'm leading you towards realizing for yourself something that you would want even more. That is the ultimate dream come true for you. However, it requires you to forego the obvious solution, the obvious option right here, right now in front of you. And if you can do that with this Major Arcana number 20, that becomes a moment of kind of spiritual proof. It's like you prove to your soul that you're able to surrender, that you're able to align with its path for you and where it wants to lead you, that you're able to have the right priorities in life. And from then on, with Major Arcana number 0, a new path can open for you. And that new path with the Fool is going to be completely intuitive to you. So this is a path where you are open, you're willing, you're trusting, everything happens. It's very auspicious energy, the Fool. It's all your potential can be realized. You can have anything that you want, and you don't even need to think about it. You don't even need to plan it. You just go into it and things just work out for you. You have that alignment and it is realized for you. But it takes the portal. It takes the step. And the step is you foregoing what you can see right here, right now as the solution to your issue, to your problem, to even just a goal, what you want to attain. It doesn't have to be a problem. But in this situation, what you see as the obvious way forward, you have to be able to forego it and to allow your spirit to create a new path for you. You have to allow your soul to set the agenda for you. Now, I feel like just from common sense. This isn't something that you should take from a reading. This is something that you should experience within yourself. This is just advice, right? And so within this reading, there is the message that you can't know by looking for the other option. You're not going to see it. It's hidden. The path is hidden from you. It's not available to you from the level of consciousness that you're at. It takes that surrender for you to then be able to see it. It takes that alignment with your soul energy to then be able to see, it's a what's it called, like non-causal connection. It's almost like chaos theory type energy that is coming in quantum. It's not linear. There's a different way. It's like skips certain steps in a linear sense, so you wouldn't be able to think about it, you wouldn't be able to perceive it. But if you align, then you really will be able to, and your dreams will come true. And moreover, your soul is guiding you. So yeah, check for signs, other readings, other kind of information, things that are going to help you to make this choice, because you have to make it from an authentic space. You have to actually want this. You have to actually want to forego what is obvious for what is true. And when you realize that, boom, your whole energy changes, everything changes, and the way will be shown to you. It is going to open up wide, and you will just have a fantastic experience walking down that road. And for some of you, maybe if you've been having a hard time, that's the dream. It's for life to get easy. It's for you to feel like you're being blessed all the time, to feel like the universe is on your side. It's to just have that perpetual green light. That's your dream coming true. For all of you, if you follow Spirit's advice, then yes, that green light, that cosmic green light will be yours. So love, that was your reading. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching all of them. I really hope that they have served you, and I hope that you got what you needed from these readings, and many more are coming. So if you enjoyed them, please subscribe, because I post in flow, and so you'll be able to know when the next one comes up. I'm also going to be posting some different kinds of content here on the channel, all to serve you in your journey of spiritual growth and evolution. If you want to know more about me, information is in the description box. And I think that pretty much, yeah, checks all my boxes. Thank you so much. May you be blessed always and in all ways, and I will be seeing you around. Bye. Hi love, hello those of you who chose the Carnelian. So it's coming through with an energy of motivation. So this advice that Spirit has for you is going to be centered on the motivation to ... Let's find out. So we have here Gaia, wisdom, knowledge, spiritual understanding. We have daydreams and decisions. Major Arcana number 18, the moon. We have the Queen of Swords, and we have Major Arcana number 15, the devil in the house. So let's see. I said the devil in the house, so everything I do is part of the reading, and there's something about the house, there's something about you, there's something about your foundations, and that's the advice here. Whatever this situation is, it is requiring of you to come at it from a space of wisdom, of knowledge, of spiritual understanding, and really to work the principles of energy. There's something about, we have the moon here, and the moon is has a level at which it talks about our soul path and the things that we have to experience because we are who we are at a soul level, and because we have a path in life, things that we have to experience and that we have to move through, and that we choose to experience and to move through at a soul level. But because they're of a different vibration, a different energy, it can be very hard for us to be aware of this. And so it's talking about confusion. I feel like Spirit is acknowledging your confusion in the situation, that you don't know, and you may not feel confused, but from a soul level you're not moving in alignment with what your soul path is in this situation and this circumstance, which is completely natural, because again, it's something that is very difficult to pick up on. And the situation is compounded here because we have a Queen of Swords, and in this deck all of these cards have a very specific meaning, and the Queen of Swords talks about living with the regret of our actions. So there's something of past energy that is acting on you and that is influencing you and that is keeping you from really seeing anything other than the devil ahead in this situation. You're seeing some gnarly energy, gnarly experiences. You're seeing some form of disempowerment. You're seeing getting stuck in an unwanted situation, in a difficult situation. You might even be seeing yourself dealing with some form of evil. Now, evil, as I define it, is the absence of compassion. So something that's going to harm you, something that's not going to be good for you, something that is going to, negativity, take away from you, take away love, take away wellness, take away self-respect, take away things that you really need to thrive in life from you. That's what you're seeing ahead, because you're basing yourself on what you've known in the past, and therefore it's compounding everything. And so the advice the Spirit has for you is break free. You got to break free from that, and you have to go into a space of daydream and decisions. And the thing about daydream, or it's a technique sometimes that psychologists also use, it's the what if. Right? It's like, for example, you're in couples therapy, and then the psychologist says, tell us, why are you upset with your husband? And you go, oh, I don't know. And then the psychologist says, well, make it a hypothetical. What if? What would it be if? And then all of a sudden it just comes and it just flows. And that's the space that you need to go into. You don't have to choose to not to decide for a while, choose to not have clarity, but instead go into a space where you're considering the situation, you're considering the issue, and you're saying, well, what if I did this, and what if I did that, what if this was this, what if this was that. It's basically for you to question and reconsider things that you have considered to be solid, that you have considered to be fact. I did this, that person did that, this means this, that means that, only this can happen, or this for sure is going to happen, and so on and so forth. But allow things to have some form of flexibility and some form of fluidity to it, and especially in how you are thinking and perceiving this situation. Of course, to do this in a positive sense, right? So you're imagining positive things and positive outcomes, positive possibilities, because what you're going to do is you're really going to open up for your spiritual energy to come in. And at the core of spiritual energy, we find creativity. So spiritual energy is incredibly amazing at problem solving, is incredibly amazing at moving us out of being stuck, moving us towards where we want to go to. And very often it has to do with some form of potential, some possibility, some opening that we haven't created, that we haven't perceived, that we haven't seized on, that we haven't believed in also. And so that's spirit's advice for you. It's like, question what you know in the situation, what you think you know, what you feel like is real. Create an opening for spiritual energy to come in and to really inspire you and gift you with an outcome, with a potential, with a possibility, with a new vision that will really, really fulfill you, because that's also an aspect of spiritual energy, the fulfillment, and the fulfillment at a deep level in our soul, in the core and the truth of our being. You can have what you want in the situation. It can work out in alignment with your highest good. It's a matter of you basically allowing it to, and being motivated for that to be the case, right? And in order to create that motivation, you have to look at things that are keeping you stuck, that you may not be aware of. They seem normal. Queen of Swords is an energy of clarity. We think we have clarity. We think we're seeing clearly, and Spirit is saying, well, actually you're being affected first and foremost by this level of it being a subtle soul level energy having to do with your soul path, but also being affected by fears surrounding things that you've experienced in the past. All of this is understandable. All of this is allowable. You can continue on this path. You have free will. But Spirit is giving you the advice to take time to reimagine, reconsider, and see what else is here for you. And with the creative force of love, you can know that it's going to be good for you, it's going to be loving for you, it's going to be true for you, it's going to be in alignment, it's going to feel like it's right for you, and that is what is intended for you in the situation, and really always. So that was your reading. That was all of your readings. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that they served you. I hope that you got what you needed out of them. And if you enjoyed this reading, please subscribe, because I'm going to be posting more, and I post in flow, so you can always know when the next one is coming. I'm also going to be posting more content, and if you are curious about me, all of my information is in the description box. I'm sending you lots of love, wishing you all the best, and may you be blessed always and in all ways. And so it is. That's it for now. Bye.